What if I told you one of the most celebrated heroes in modern history is also at the center of one of the most controversial debates today? A man praised across the world, a symbol of peace, forgiveness, and unity. And yet, some argue his leadership came at a cost no one wants to talk about. That man is Nelson Mandela. And this is the untold complexity behind South Africa's transformation. Because the story you've heard is only half the truth. Today, we go deeper into power, sacrifice, and consequences. To understand Mandela, you must first understand the system he fought against, apartheid. A system where your skin color determined everything, where you could live, work, even who you could love. For decades, South Africa was divided, a minority ruling over the majority. Resistance grew, anger spread, and the world began watching. Among those resisting was a young lawyer named Nelson Mandela. At first, peaceful protests, but when those failed, the struggle turned militant. Mandela was arrested and sentenced to life in prison. 27 years on a small island. But instead of breaking him, it transformed him. In 1990, the world held its breath. Mandela walked free, not as a broken prisoner, but as a symbol of hope. Within just a few years, he became president of South Africa, a moment that changed history forever. Instead of revenge, he chose reconciliation. Instead of division, he chose unity. He established the Truth and Reconciliation Commission, a bold idea: forgive the past to build the future. To the world, he was a miracle, a leader who prevented civil war. But inside the country, the reality was far more complicated. Ending apartheid was only the beginning, because once the system collapsed, a new question emerged. Now what? South Africa faced massive inequality, millions in poverty, a broken economy, and expectations were sky high. Jobs didn't come fast enough, crime began rising, frustration grew. Old divisions didn't disappear, they simply changed form. Some communities felt left behind, others felt targeted, and the dream of unity started to crack. Internationally, sanctions lifted, but investment didn't fix everything overnight. The transition was never going to be easy. But many began asking, could it have been done differently? To some, Mandela is a hero beyond question, a global icon of peace, a man who avoided bloodshed. His influence reached far beyond Africa, inspiring movements for justice worldwide. But to others, his legacy is more complicated. Critics argue his government didn't go far enough economically, that political freedom came, but economic inequality remained, and in some ways deepened. So the question becomes, was Mandela a savior or a leader forced to make impossible compromises? Maybe he was both. Today, South Africa stands at a crossroads, a nation rich in potential, yet struggling with deep challenges. High unemployment, rising crime, political instability. The promise of 1994 still feels unfinished. And yet, the foundations Mandela laid still hold the country together. Without them, things could have been far worse. History is rarely simple, heroes are rarely perfect, and nations are never built overnight. Nelson Mandela didn't create a perfect country, but he changed its direction forever. The real question is, what happens next? So now I want to hear from you. Was Mandela's approach the only way, Or could South Africa have taken a different path? Drop your thoughts below, because this conversation is far from over. If you want more deep dives into hidden history, controversial truths, and untold stories, make sure you subscribe, because the next story might change everything you thought you knew.